I'm Cheryl Campos. I wear many hats. I'm an investor in Next Wave, New York City, looking for healthcare pre-seed and seed AI startups. I'm an operator and former head of venture growth and partnerships at Republic, which is a fintech unicorn, and I was employee number 10, so lots of up and down. So I am the CEO of La Familia Foundation, catalyzing and cultivating a Latino founder and funder ecosystem, so similar to what you guys do here. And I'm also a graduate from Harvard University and Stanford GSB. I have spent my entire career becoming a finance professional. Everything that I've done is for this. But I am also a signed model and actress. Did you know that? Did you know that? Growing up, we all had childhood dreams. Maybe, I don't know, it was being a baker, a farmer, an actor, an astronaut. And slowly, I feel like we were all molded by the world. Some of us were overlooked, and some of us were undervalued, some of us were overworked. We were pushed and pulled by different factors that sent us those dreams, whether it was family, or money, or something else. And then, over time, our career became our identity. The boss, the coach, the consultant, the finance professional. Also, for a long time, there was a stigma. People used to mock creatives. If you weren't an engineer or a banker, you weren't considered serious. I felt that pressure. As a child of immigrants here in the United States, I didn't think I could be an actress. I thought I had to kill that creative side of me to feed the professional reality. But at Stanford, in 2023, we traveled to South Korea on a global study trip and met a talent manager of BTS. Yeah. South Korea changed my life because he told me something that completely rewired my brain. He said, Cheryl, in America, you discover talent. But here in South Korea, we develop talent. That line haunted me. It took grasp of me and didn't let me go. Because it made me realize that Americans are obsessed with being discovered, a natural genius. That you have talent or you don't. That you have to be discovered at a mall, or go to American Idol, or have a scout find you. Meanwhile, he was arguing that Koreans are focused on hard work and effort. And I was like, yeah, I could change my life. And so, I went home and applied that Korean mindset to what I wanted to do. I always wanted to act. So I enrolled in an acting intensive in Hollywood during my MBA summer. And I was horrible. I was so bad. I was especially with so many different international stars that just wanted to break into the US market. But I put in the work. I listened to podcasts. I read books. I went to industry parties. I kept growing. And now, I'm in commercials for Microsoft, actually, so exciting. I am lead roles and call sheet number 1. And I'm also represented with agents and managers, and I've joined SAG-AFTRA in just my first year of acting. So, it was a lot. But development wasn't just about learning lines. It was about integration. I had to enter a community where my Harvard degree didn't matter. I had to build a network from zero. I had to earn my way into the room, not with a resume, but with authentic connection. I iterated, I improved. And now I stand here as both an investor and an artist. I call this being a serial maverick. A maverick isn't someone who just breaks the rules. It's someone who refused to be boxed into a single identity. I live in two worlds, the analytical world of venture capital and the creative world of Hollywood. Those things are not mutually exclusive. They're actually very similar. So why am I telling you all this, besides the fact that South Korea changed my life? Because you in this room are masters of development. You already have the blueprint for global domination. Look at Samsung. proving that Korean hardware can lead the world. Look at K-pop, K-drama, K-everything. You have proved that authentic Korean culture resonates globally. And South Korea, you know, is only one of 4 countries in the world where Google and Amazon are not #1. You didn't win by trying to be American. K-pop didn't win by copying American pop. It won by being unapologetically Korean. It won because it was developed with such high quality and high authenticity that the world had to pay attention. You have conquered hardware. You have conquered culture through soft power. And now it's time to conquer tech through K-startups. But to scale a startup beyond borders, especially in 2026, the game is changing. Tomas already walked us through some of these global shifts. And the VC playbook that we used 5-10 years ago is dead. Let's look at some numbers, because they're terrifying and exciting at the same time. The cost to launch a startup has dropped by 99% in the last decade. What used to take $500,000 and a team of engineers now takes $50 and a subscription to an LLM. Time to MVP has gone from months to hours. And one of the most shocking stats for us is that before solo founders used to be seen or frowned upon, and now 35% of all new startups are now solo founders. One person, armed with AI, doing the work of 20. The barriers to entry have evaporated. And while the IPO window is finally cracking on the other side of the startup world, that liquidity comes with the cost, extreme competition. And VCs will rely even more on the people that they know in their space to do their due diligence when they're talking about startups and make sure that founders are legitimate. So if everyone can build a product, then the product itself is no longer the differentiator. If everyone has good tech, tech doesn't really matter anymore. To survive this shift, you need to build what I call the global moat. It comes down to 3 things working together. Data, more about the product, and you talked about the distribution, all that, we'll get to in a second. And then brand. The winners of the next decade, the next Samsungs of software, will have all 3. So first, let's look at data. In 2026, AI is electricity, it's table stakes. But here is your hidden advantage, proprietary data. Similar to what Tomas said, it's about taking some of those less glamorous things, but the ones that you can specialize in. Especially coming from Asian markets that US companies do not have. You understand consumer behaviors here that are invisible to Silicon Valley. And that is your edge. Don't just export your software, export your insights. And then there's product. And I don't just mean features. Because once again, the product needs to be good on its own to compete. Like Tomas said, it was about distribution, workforce, UX, UI, and focus. But I want to take that a step further. When you think about product, think about those 3 questions that every VC will ask themselves, besides how I make money. Why this? Why now? And why you? Why this? Is this problem real? Why right now? Is the timing right? Are you Netflix in 1990 or are you Netflix in 2010? Are you Netflix now? And why you? Why are you the person that's going to put blood, sweat, tears, everything into making this happen? Are you the one that are going to bust through walls to make this a reality? And finally, the most critical piece, the piece that the world used to mock but now craves, is brand. In the world of AI, people don't know what is real and what's fake. The influx of content is numbing. The doom scrolling is real. The real breakthrough will be a voice of authenticity. In Hollywood, for example, I have done 250 auditions last year, by the way. An audition is just like a pitch meeting for a founder. You walk in, you have anywhere from, well, for acting it's different, 4 to 90 seconds. And you have to make a stranger feel something. VCs are the same. They are tired. In 1 year, I had personally seen over 1,000 startups, and everything started to blur together. So how do you stand out? And this is where the maverick comes in. Because brand is not just logo. Brand is who champions you when you are not in the room. And when I say brand, are you doing business with culture? Are you integrating into the ecosystem? You have to tell us your story. And VCs have to trust you and remember you. They have to be your fan. You actually are the startup. Investors don't just champion companies, they champion fighters, and they want to know when the money runs out, the servers crash, and I remember this for Republic, we all had to take pay cuts at one point. We all had to struggle together to make it out alive. That resilience, that's part of your brand. And then you also have to do what I did when transitioning to Hollywood, is that you have to build your community. You've already taken the first step by being right in this room. You are all here to support and uplift each other. Do not think that there's a scarcity mindset. Have an abundance mindset. You all can collaborate and win together. And stop hiding behind corporate identities. Show us your scars. Show us your passion, because culture and capital are converging more and more. Lean into that. Data and product proves you're viable, but your blood, sweat, and tears and your brand will prove you are valuable. And I know scaling globally is scary. I know imposter syndrome is real. But remember, you know how to do the work. You know how to develop excellence. Now lean into your voice, build your global moat, build bridges right here, and become a serial maverick. Thank you.